video, we will build a simple microservices example using Laravel. The focus of this video will be on Laravel, so the frontend of this app, which is in React, will be pre-built, and you can find the link in the description of this video. This project will be a video series where you will learn something new in every video. In this example, we will learn how to send internal HTTP requests from one microservice to another. Then, in the later videos, we will learn even more complex stuff. Now, let's build these microservices. So let's start by creating the frontend. It is pre-built since the focus of this project is on the backend. So I'll copy the URL here and open the terminal and run git clone this project. Now that I clone the project, make sure to have npm installed, and we will go to the post microservices frontend, run npm install, and after it's installed, run npm start, and the frontend is built. So node modules are installed. Now run npm start, and this will create the project on port 3000. So we have an error since we don't have any endpoints in the backend, so let's create them. The first one is to get all the posts. So go to laravel.com, and in the documentation, installation via composer, go here, copy this code, and in the terminal I will open a new tab, and here I will create a Laravel project called posts, and I will create also another project called comments after this is completed. So it is completed, and I will run the same command, and I'll create a second project called comments. And now that are both completed, I will open them with my IDE. So I opened both projects. This is a post project and this is the comment project. They are both the same project now. And I will start by adding a database for each project. So I will add a data source, MySQL, and I will connect with my local MySQL. So my user is root, my password is root. And here I will create a new schema. I'll call the schema posts microservice, like this, posts ms. And this is an empty schema right now. I'll go to the env file, and here the database will be posts ms, my username and my password. So we connected successfully with the post microservice. Let's do the same for the comments. So let's add the data source here also, MySQL. Let's put the same credentials, and let's create a schema, comments microservice. So we are done here. Let's add it to the env, and comments microservice here, and my credentials. So these are the connection for the database. Now let's create the tables. So let's go to database migrations, and we have some tables here which we will delete all of them because we don't need them. The only table that we need, we will create it now. So PHP artisan make migration create posts table. So we created this migration, and what will our post table have? So I'll add here table string title, so the post will have a title and the text, and I'll call it description. And that's it for the posts. What is left now is to just migrate. So PHP artisan migrate. Not sure why it migrates the personal access tokens table, but it doesn't matter. So the post microservice will have our posts table now. So that is cleared. Let's go to the comments and let's create a table here. So PHP artisan. So first let's delete the migrations. Make migration here. Create comments table. And the comments table will have these fields. First will be an unsigned big integer for the post ID. So each post will have multiple comments, and it will be kind of a foreign key, because currently this is not a foreign key because it is another project. So we have to store it like a normal integer. And it will have a text. I'll call it text. So the comment will have only the post ID and the message there. And that's it. So we can migrate also this. And we migrated, and we will see here the comments table. So we added the tables that we need. Now let's add the endpoints. First, let's create a model. So PHP artisan make model post. This will create a model post here. Here we need to add or we will add it later, or let's add it now. So protected, guarded, like this. So why do we need this field? So I will explain it now. Let's create first a controller. So PHP artisan make controller post controller, and we'll have here a post controller. Now we will have here two methods for the post controller, but the first method that I will add is this one, public function store, and this will have a request. So this method will create posts, and we will have the title and the description in the request, and we will simply return post create, and we'll assign the title, which is request input title, and the description. So this will simply create the post and return it. But if we don't add this line, it will throw an error. So it wants this title and description to be a fillable property. So long story short, you need to add this value here in order to create it like this. And that's it. So let's add this to the endpoints. Routes here. We need to add the route as a post request to posts. Then we need an array, and the first parameter of the array is a post controller, so post controller as a class, and the second parameter is store, which is a function itself. So this is how we add also routes. We are mapping the post controller and the method. We need also one other method, which is getting all the posts. So public function index, and here we will return post all of them. And these are the two methods that we need in our post controller. And in our API.php, let's add a new one as a get request now. The URI is also posts here, but the method is index. And that's it. So with this, let's run PHP artisan serve. It will run our app on port 8000, but this will also make sure that our React app will run successfully. As we can see, we see create posts and we see a 0 here. Not sure why we see a 0, but we currently don't have any post yet. So to create a post, simply put a title here, post number 1, and description number 1. If we save, we'll see here our post, and if we refresh, we'll still get these values. So the post part works successfully. Now we have another input here, which are the comments, but we don't have any endpoints yet for the comments, so let's create them now. So in the comments, let's create first the model. PHP artisan make model comment, and we will create a model here comment, which I will also add protected guarded empty array here, and then I will create a controller. So PHP artisan make controller comment controller. So we created the comment controller now, and the endpoints here are also 2, and the first one that I will create is store, which we want to create a comment. And to create the comment, we need to return comment create, and we will pass the post ID, which we will provide it in the request, and the text, which we also will provide it in the request. So that's it for creating it, and let's add also the route there. A post request to comments, an empty array, and this is comment controller class store. So we can create comments, but how do we get them? So this is the tricky part now about the microservices. When we want to retrieve posts, we want to retrieve each post also with their comments. So this post can have 5 comments, the other post can have 10 comments. So the post itself needs to have also comments. In the post microservice, when we get the post here, we just return the post, but we need to attach the comments here. How do we do it? So the way that we will solve this problem is we'll create an endpoint here that gets all the comments based on the post ID, and in this microservice we will send an internal HTTP request to the other microservice, and we will use that endpoint. So not sure if I confused you, but let's create the endpoint. You will understand it better. So public function index, and I will put an ID here, which is the post ID. So this endpoint will be a get request, and the endpoint will be posts slash the ID slash comments. So the comments for this post ID, and we will add here the comment controller class, and the function is index. So the route is pretty basic. Now let's go to the comment controller, and this will be the post ID. So how do we return the comments based on the post ID? So simply we'll return comment where post ID is equal to this ID get, and that should be it. So this is this will return all the comments based on the post ID. Now, how do we attach the comments now from here to here? So this is the tricky part. So I'll create a variable here posts, which is equal to this value, and in the end we'll return the posts. So what I will do right now is I will loop the posts, and for each loop I will send an internal HTTP request in the comments here. So the way Laravel sends requests is like this. Comments are equal to HTTP. We'll send a GET request to HTTP localhost port. So this microservice, the post microservice, will have a port 8000, and for the comments I will serve right now. So PHP artisan serve. We need to specify a port here. I'll put 8001. So that is optional. You can put any port that you want. So I put here 8001, and what we'll do now is we'll send a GET request to HTTP localhost port 8001 slash posts slash the ID of the post. So we have the post here as a variable. I'll put the post ID like this slash comments, and I want the response to be returned as a JSON. So in short, this is how we send an HTTP request from an Laravel app to the other app. So localhost port 8000 slash post slash ID, you need double quotes here in order for this to work, slash comments in the end. And now we need to attach these comments to the post itself, but I will remove this variable actually. I will do it shortly. So the post comments are equal to this. So each post will have their own comments, and that's it for our microservice. Now let's see if it works. So I will write here hello, and I will type enter. So this error should not appear because I forgot to restart. So if I restart the React app, that will not appear. But we lost our posts, so we have another problem. Let's inspect and see what is the problem. Could not resolve host. So the problem seems to be that I forgot a colon here. So is HTTP colon and then slash slash. So that is my bad there. And also I forgot to add the API here. So is API slash posts. So the URL is localhost port 8001 slash API post ID comments. And that should solve the problem. And now we can write a comment hello, and as you can see, the comment is attached below. We can even refresh and the comment will stay there. We can create also another post. So post number 2, description number 2, and we will see the second post here, and the comment will belong to the post 1. So this is a comment number 2, and we created that comment. So this is how this app will work. It's super simple, but this is the main part. when we get the comments, we will send internal HTTP requests, and this is the way how we do it. Still, this is a bad practice. I showed you this way because it's super simple, but imagine if you have thousands of posts here, and for each post you will send a separate HTTP request. So this is good for this example, but we need to create another lecture where we solve this using the best practices. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I will provide more videos with different problems and the best way to solve these problems. So thank you for watching this video.